Hi guys, hi everyone. Today we are going to explain meiosis. We are Marco,
Gianpaolo and Lorenzo.
and we are from the Liceo Medi, Scientifico Medi by Battipaglia. And so now we are going to have this so important lesson. As we can read here, the meiosis is a specialized type of cell division that reduces the chromosome number by half, creating 4 haploid cells. Take mind to these 4 haploid cells, each genetically distinct underline from the parent cell that generated to them. So it's so different from the mitosis. This process occurs in a sexually reproducing single-celled and multicellular eukaryotes, including animals, plants, and also fungi. So sometimes errors in meiosis can result in aneuploidy, which are so the most important known causes of miscarriage and the most frequent genetic cause of developmental disabilities.
Excuse me, I haven't completely understood what you just said. What's aneuploidy?
Well, aneuploidy, for example, in a cell body, we have got in a diploid cell as usually 46 chromosomes. Because of the aneuploidy, we have error, so a miscarriage, and we have or 45 or 47 chromosomes. Because of this fact, we can move into different pathologies. For example, the Down syndrome that is so well known today. If we can go on, please. So, in this vocabulary, as we can read here, there are 4 terms regarding especially the cell included in this process, and then the real processes that characterize the meiosis. Here is the term diploid, as we explained before, the haploid, read before, and germ cell and somatic cell. Then we are going to analyze. Then the 6 most important phases, which are the interphase, the prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase, and finally the cytokinesis. We have to analyze this situation because instead of meiosis, the mitosis has got the same name of these processes, but a difference can be, for example, of time, because of the fact that the mitosis lasts a bit shorter than the meiosis, and if we have to analyze the situation, it could last about 3 or 2 hours, while the meiosis, because of the fact that it is included into processes, it can last also a day longer. So I will finally analyze that in the stages of meiosis, we can intend a first phase of the meiosis 1 and the meiosis 2. These processes are characterized by so important elements that then will generate the gamete. Now my partner will explain you everything.
These stages of meiosis are preceded by the interphase. As you can see in this picture, the chromosomes in this phase have not yet condensed, and the chromosomes still in this phase are replicated, and the chromatin begins to condense. In the first phase of meiosis, prophase 1, the chromosomes are completely condensed. In meiosis, unlike in mitosis, the homologous chromosomes pair with one another. In the first metaphase, the nuclear membrane dissolves and the homologous chromosomes are attached to the spindle fibers. They are preparing to go to opposite poles. In the next phase, anaphase 1, the chromosomes move to opposite ends of the cell. And in telophase 1 and in cytokinesis, the cell begins to divide into 2 daughter cells. It's very important to understand that each daughter cell can get any combination of maternal and paternal chromosomes. In the second part of the meiosis, we have the 2 cells. We have 2 daughter cells that are divided. In prophase, the first phase is prophase 2. The next phase is metaphase 2, where, as in meiosis 1, the chromosomes line up on the spindle fibers. In anaphase 2, the 2 cells are beginning to divide. As in meiosis 1, the chromosomes move to opposite ends of each cell. In the last phase of meiosis, telophase 2 and cytokinesis, with the formation of 4 cells, meiosis is over. Each of these prospective germ cells carries half of the number of the chromosome of each somatic cell.
So, as my partner told before, the process now is over. I think it could be so clear, but if there is any question, please ask us, so we can explain you anything. Any questions?
Excuse me, what's the difference between an haploid cell and a diploid cell?
Okay, interesting question. So, the difference between a diploid cell and a haploid cell is while a diploid cell, for example, in the human body, has got 46 chromosomes, so one characteristic from the father cell and one from the mother cell. In the haploid cell, because of the sexual reproduction process, because of the meiosis, we have 4 haploid cells formed by 32 chromosomes. So we have quantity of the genetical patrimony.
I have a question. What's the difference between germ cells and somatic cells?
A germ cell is a biological cell that forms gametes of an organism that reproduces sexually, while on the other side, a somatic cell is a biological cell that produces the body of an organism. That is, in a multicellular organism, any other cell other than a gamete cell. Other questions?
Can you explain me the crossing over?
Yeah, of course. So, we know that crossing over is an important but basic concept of genetic and cell biology. It's also called recombination of this process. This process is very important because it involves, as we can see in the picture, it involves the chromosome segments, the exchange of chromosome segments between non-sister chromatids, like we can see here. So, these associate each other in a structure called tetrad. So I think it's all that you wanted to know, and the lesson is over.
So, if I think it's clear the meiosis and mitosis, the difference between these two processes, we can now conclude our lesson.
So these are the references of our project, and yeah, thank you very much for your attention, and our greetings are especially for Mr. Ruben Ayub. Thank you.